I guess it took me a long time to realise what I wanted to be when I grew up. I was 24 when I decided that I wanted to do music, and I never studied it at school or anything like that.
Set me on fire, set me on fire, set me on fire, baby.
I started off on my own in Brighton, where I lived for 10 years. Very bohemian, eclectic place, lots of music going on there, lots of influences. And then moved to Colchester, 2008. And obviously starting totally afresh in a whole new town that I'd never lived in before. Nobody knew who I was. I didn't know who anybody else was either. And just sort of put the feelers out in order to find other musicians to play with. Brighton's a fantastic place to live, but very distracting. A lot of musicians there, as I said, which is great for influence, but if you want to be somewhere that tries to make it a little bit, or even tries to, God forbid, earn a bit of money from it without being signed, or without management behind you, you find it very, very, very difficult.
Set me on fire, baby.
From the age of about 11, I was always interested in words, and I used to write a lot of poetry. I've still kept some of it from years and years ago. Of, poems by Jazmine Ava, age 13. It's always been about the words for me for such a long time, that the music just accompanied the words afterwards. I always wrote all of the songs that have been released on these 2 albums as poems to begin with. I'd always liked playing the guitar on my own in my bedroom, to sort of learn little bits off my dad. I never envisaged myself one day making a big band or being where I am now as such. But I knew I enjoyed it, and it was a lovely hobby, and it was a lovely release as well. I find that I can write songs very well, and they just come out when I'm a bit sad and when things are going okay, and I'm bobbing along nicely. I don't find that it comes out as easy, and I get a little bit more writer's block. I started writing off songs which was just the same chords all the way through, and yes, that worked as well, because Bob Dylan did a lot of songs like that too, and sometimes the simple ones can sometimes be the best, but I sort of created at the beginning with writing the chords and the lyrics and the basic structure too, and then we all as a band put all of our ideas in it to try and craft them into better songs to make them more interesting. Working with other musicians allows you to break those barriers that you create yourself, because otherwise you can get a bit stuck in a rut doing the same thing. But it's difficult because I do so many different styles of music that you have to sort of clock what kind of a set list you should do when you get there, depending on what the people are like. If they want it to be a little bit more chilled out, I've got plenty of chilled out songs, but I have that thing in me that I want to get people dancing.
Show a little bit of your madness and keep a little bit of your pride. Well, I won't mind nobody's business if they're keeping out of mine, 'cause everybody's mad, baby. Everybody's mad, baby. Is everybody mad, baby? Is everybody mad, baby? Is everybody mad, baby? Or is it me, maybe?
I don't know how I'm going to change or develop as a musician when I get older. Maybe I'll get into more of a heavy rock or whatever, I doubt it, but
You never know.
exactly, I don't know how it's going to develop.